All right. I'm not really big on politics, but I do keep an eye within that jurisdiction, just in case it connects to something much more deeper than what it is. So I do keep an eye in that arena, but I don't really feed it. So a lot of people who follow me know that I don't feed into the politics, but politics is connected to an unseen hand because governments are controlled by shadow figures, right? And Hollywood got more power than Washington, D.C. I've always said that, right? Because who controls Hollywood? These so-called Jews. Who controls the music industry? These so-called Jews. Come on, Mark Zuckerberg. Why you come messing with me? I wasn't doing nothing but posting testimonies, right? Healing people. You saw the testimonies. You had to have seen it. Now all of a sudden, you know what I mean? You restricting me. I mean, I ain't taking it personal, but people got an eye and they see, right? And it's mighty funny how when I posted that video about Kamala Harris and that post about Kamala Harris that all of a sudden my stuff coming down. That's fine. People done already saw it. But you ain't getting nothing out of this, Mark Zuckerberg, if that's really you. Are you really dead? Is this a clone doing this? With the real Mark Zuckerberg pull my post down and restrict me? I don't know, man. Laws is laws. When you get into bed with the devil, you have to endure his agenda or her agenda, however you want to call it. But we know that Kamala Harris slept her way to the top with some old crinkled up men who are in the industry of sex trading children, right? See, I remember back then when Trump used to talk about closing borders up on Mexicans. And me being in my ignorance and my emotion, I said, man, how the hell he gonna close something up when he ain't even from here, right? But that was my emotion speaking, right? So we know that sometimes when you just sit back and you look and you hear and you feel your environment and people and the environment, you can really see things that you really can't see, whereas if you are emotional. So it all makes sense now. Y'all mad at Trump, and I ain't saying that I'm not a liberal or a conservative, nor am I independent. I'm just me. I'm here, right? I existed. My soul existed before a government. So I really don't give a fuck about none of this stuff. But, you know, I'm going to be on the playground for a little while. Just hear me out, right? So it makes clear sense why Trump want to shut the borders down. And this is fucking with a lot of people. Even inside his own party. Especially the liberals, right? Because we know that Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, these devils, they go back and forth. I was calling them black. And they was going back and forth to Africa. You know, taking these children. Sitting down with Oprah. Telling Oprah to buy schools over there. As a front in the face. To get these children in their palms. That's right, Oprah is a black devil. Devils ain't just white, they black too. So you got these underground chambers and these South African schools that Oprah was building up. And at the same time, a lot of y'all were worshiping Oprah, not knowing you were worshiping a devil. A lot of y'all were calling Bill Clinton black and thought he was going to do something for y'all, not knowing that y'all were following a devil who was a part of sex trafficking children. Most of your hotels are in contracts with the government. Because when they take these children across the border and bring them to America, right? They make stops in these hotels. They make stops in these hotels and stuff. And these hotels allow these people to bring children through the back door of these hotels while they are on their transport route. And when they're on their transport route, right, you got to understand that it's things going on. It's things going on. See, children don't just come up missing for nothing. You know, we all got something in us that they know that we have at birth. But I don't want to get into that. I've been into that already. Let me stick to these devils. See, Kamala Harris, she got y'all food, women. That's going to be the worst thing that happened to y'all if y'all think that she's going to be y'all savior. Mark my word. See, Democrats has always been an enemy of black people. I used to always think that they were for us, but what they were doing was making us less self-dependent on ourselves, making us lazy, make us sit in places that we call projects, hoods. What is a project? A project is something that you work on, something that you experiment on, right? And most projects in America is adorned by black people. We are experiments. They were putting HIV inside of the government cheese in the 90s. They were putting synthetic polymers in the condom and telling you to have safe sex. Make sure you wear condoms. They were giving away free condoms. They were setting up Planned Parenthoods adjacent to black communities and telling black women it was okay for you to murder your child. They may say, well, if it's still a fetus, it's not a life. Anything that you can acknowledge, anything that you can perceive, it's already real. It's already there. If you have a perception that you had a child and you aborted that child was there, whether they had a heartbeat or not. And these people, right? They pushed y'all out of your nature and made you feel as if evil was the natural order of your decision making when it came to killing your children. But I ain't here to talk about that. Right? Because we know that they were using aborted fetuses for certain things. They were experimenting on your aborted fetuses. They have something inside of the fetus that calls a HEK293 gene. Look it up, a HEK293 gene, and then see what they use it for. See, I've been on my job. For everybody who's been following me for a year or so, I've been doing this. You see, Mark Zuckerberg, you into that nasty stuff too, with your dirty, raggedy, filthy, child touching. You's a monster. Got the nerve to make me look as if I'm posting things that is treacherous or detrimental to the people who follow me. But just in case you ain't the Mark Zuckerberg, hopefully your clone can relate into your subconscious these words. You laid in the bed with them devils, and now you became in the image and likeness of what you laid in the bed with. You sick. You touch children. Kamala Harris touched children. They do rituals on children. Biden touched children. That ain't even Biden. That's a clone too. Obama was touching children. Go look at his policies. Obama was worse than Bush. He killed more people in Africa, more innocent children in Africa. And y'all was calling this man black. Told y'all better get off that color stuff in these days of time. Because they got a science for you. They got a manipulation tactic for you that they'll use to engineer and to make you think that just because it looked like you, it's for you, when in actuality, it's the worst thing that you can ingest in your spirit. The whole government are devils. And the churches are devils. Because the churches have to go to the same people that the government go to. And if you are church, you are devil too. If you deal with any political influence or any political voting influence to the people that sit amongst you when you're supposed to be preaching about God and Christ, the only person you should be voting for is your Christ. Why you got these people leaning into man for their own understanding when your Bible said lean not into man for your own understanding? Nuh-uh. It don't change. I'm going to get in your ass now. How the hell you gonna call yourself a pastor and a fighter for God when you kissing and buck dancing for these damn devils and nasty defiers of Christ, touching children, raping children. You ought to be ashamed of yourself, because your church is a business and it's set up under a 501c3, which is a non-profit organization. God is not an organization. God is free. You can't connect God to an organization. God too big for that. Bigger than a building. Bigger than an offering. Why I don't see none of these churches going at the government? You know why they're not doing it? Because they'll lose their government grants. It ain't really about the people of the church. What's the difference between a church and McDonald's? You're going to get served some bullshit. And the worst part about it is spiritually. So they serving your soul. Genetically modified spirits. And the people coming out of the church. You can see why they act the way that they act on Saturdays. And this is not a shot to the people in the church, but we know that you are the sheep, and he or she is the head that is ruling you under the authority of evil. Why don't some of you pastors come out and tell your members the truth and stop being punks and fornicators? Why don't we go for the popes who's touching children? And I ain't making justification for other people. I mean, you get on R. Kelly, you get on Michael Jackson and all these other people, but why don't you go at the Pope for touching these children, sucking their penis as a ritual when they're first born? The Pope is sick and he's a faggot. I said it. And I ain't scared of death. For everybody who's looking at this video, oh, they're going to kill. I don't care nothing about death. Because what I've obtained here has changed my whole perception of what I am. And what I am, you can't kill me. Talking about some, you follow Christ. Christ won't scared to die. The hell with this damn life. There's other lifetimes that God has already prepared for me. And I'm ready for this battle, this spiritual battle. I don't have a fear in my heart. Because I do this for the babies. I do it for those children that's crying out in these underground lairs, in these underground prisons. While these sick devils feed off of their energy. So that's why they are mad at Trump. Because Trump was interfering with their business. When Trump wanted to close the borders up, that would stop them from bringing in children. It would monitor those actions of children being brought across the borders. Because the same people that he was bringing, or the same children that he was bringing across the borders, their families were selling them off to these people. And some families were murdered when they didn't want to sell their babies off to these fucking evil, demonic entities in government when they were going over there threatening them with their military to bring them back. And some of the soldiers made oaths not to talk about this. If I'm lying, God strike me dead right now. Because I got ways to look into things. And I see more than what a sheep can see. Come for me if you want to. I ain't Kanye West. I ain't none of them. And I'm going to tell you right now. Yeah, I got blood running through my body. But I also got another force running through my body. So try me. I dare you. Peace.